think we can move on to our updated predictions for the top 6 in the Championship and the bottom 3 in the Championship. As it stands, the top 6 right now is Leicester City, Ipswich Town, Leeds, Southampton, Preston North End, and Sunderland. We'll start with the top 6, shall we? We'll talk about Leicester. Leicester, let's just get this out of the way. Even though they've lost 2 games in a row, they're still winning the league, aren't they?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, if we're going to be honest, they're the depth, the quality, it's just over the long run, it's just going to overpower it. And they're definitely getting automatics, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to get the title. And I also did put them. Well, I think most people put them in first for their initial predictions. Well, I'm going to try and get my initial predictions up for the season, then compare them. But yeah, okay. But yeah, agreed for the first place.
Probably the most interesting and intriguing prediction is second place. Now, as it stands, I said Ipswich second. They're on 39 points after 16 games, which in itself is just ridiculous. Like, newly promoted League One side. You've heard it all before. Ipswich is just impressive. Mighty impressive. Leeds, 16 games, 31 points, and generally that will be fairly close, maybe a couple of points away from a top second place at least. But they're now 8 points behind Ipswich. And you go in, well, Ipswich, surely they're going to, have a little bit of a fall, and Leeds are just going to ramp above them because quality and Daniel Farker and whatnot. I'm not so convinced. What do you say?
In terms of Leeds?
Just in second place in general, both the sides.
Second place, yeah. So I'll compare it to my initial predictions as well. I did put Southampton in second and Leicester just because I thought, that Premier League relegation. But I have changed it now. Ipswich obviously had an incredible start. Preston were up there for a bit of the time, but now they've done it over 16 games, over a quarter now. Are we now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even a third, right? Are we a third way through or something like
that? About that, yeah. About that, yes.
About a third. And yeah, they've been amazing. Well, they've only lost 1 game, and then the next after that is 3 losses. So yeah, I think they've been great. However, yeah, they are newly promoted. I don't see them doing this. I don't see them holding this form up for the whole of the season, but I still think they'll do well. I'll get on to Ipswich, but I don't see them staying in the top 2 for me. Leeds, however, they are 8 points behind right now, but I did go to Leeds Watford in that game. They smashed Watford. I know Watford haven't been great, but just what I see within that squad, they've had a couple bad results, but I just feel like they have a bit more of a cutting edge and quality with their chances, and they have some great players. Somerville, Pirot, Rutter, James, they're their attacking threat as well. So yeah, I've put them in second now, and I see them just being quite consistent. I see Ipswich falling off a bit, and then they'll sneak that second place for automatics.
So your first and second updated predictions are Leicester and Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've gone with Leicester and Ipswich. I do think Ipswich. I think the point difference for now is just too much. Leeds are still going to have dips in form. I think they're still going to have, a couple of games where they don't win. Ipswich, I think Leeds will be relying on Ipswich, having 4, 5, 6 games of bad runs, so they can eventually overtake them. Just don't see that with Kieran McKenna's side at the moment. So I've put Leeds third for that case. Have you put Ipswich third, or have you put someone else?
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I put Ipswich third. I feel like it could be a close battle, maybe down to the last few games of the season, but I reckon it'll be close. But I just think, as of now, I feel like Leeds will nick it. But yeah, Ipswich third.
Let's move on to fourth then. So, you know what? Let's just talk about the rest of the playoffs in one go. At the start of the season, my top 6 predictions was... Does that make sense? Leicester, Second place was Middlesbrough. That's not going to happen. Third was Southampton. That might happen. Might not happen. Sunderland were fourth. Which wasn't that bad of a prediction, to be fair. And Leeds were fifth. No. Norwich were sixth. So my updated fourth, fifth, and sixth is now Southampton, who's staying in the top six. Middlesbrough, who's staying in the top six. West Bromwich Albion, who have got into the top six. Let me hand the baton over to you now. And then we'll talk about our top six and talk about 4, 5, and 6. What are your top 6 on the whole?
Well, I'll go for my original first. I had a bit of an outrageous shout, but obviously at the time I thought it was different. I thought it was being kind of similar to the Huddersfield situation where they got into that playoff final against Nottingham and then obviously fell straight back down, but they've survived. So so I had Leicester, Southampton second, third Leeds, fourth Coventry, who I was referring to, then fifth Middlesbrough, and then sixth Sunderland. That was my original. It's not too bad, obviously, other than Coventry are a lot further down, but otherwise relatively in and around. Then now my updated, obviously I said Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, and then exactly like yours, I put Southampton down to fourth, Middlesbrough in fifth. and I looked at sixth place. And they're the likes of Preston. They obviously had a really good start. They are in fifth right now. Sunderland to earn sixth, and they've been good again. They've been consistently around the playoffs. Perhaps Blackburn, they're a bit further down, but they were in and around last season. Hull as well, only a level on points, and West Brom, like you said. But this is a Bristol City podcast, the 1894. So I thought, why not? I feel like for me, it's not a clear West Brom or Hull or something. They're definitely going to get the 6. So realistic, I'm just going to go for my heart with this one and just say the Robins, we nick a 6th place on the final day of the season. Manning Ball turns out to be the new Guardiola Ball, and we just nick it on the final day. So I put Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, Southampton, Middlesbrough, and then Bristol City. Bit optimistic, but
don't. I've no words. I hope that happens, but won't happen. That would be great. Liam Manning Ball coming into full effect. It just won't happen. Well, I was going to ask logic behind that thinking, but I'm not going to bother.
I can do top 5 logic.
Okay, top 5 logic.
Top 5 logic. Well, we touched on the top 3. And then Southampton, I just feel like, again, they just came down from the Prem. They've been on some good form recently. They haven't lost in a while. They lost 4 on the bounce, but now they haven't lost in, 8 games, which is pretty impressive. I just feel like they have the capacity. I don't see them challenging too much for the top 2, but I just see them kind of being comfortably in the top 6. No real challenge, and I just see them carrying out and getting a 4th place. As for Middlesbrough, I see kind of a reflection of last season on an amazing run now. They're 10th, but I think they're just going to keep going. A couple dips in form, but relatively consistent now, and just grinding out results. They obviously beat Leicester, top of the league, and I see them getting a 5th place, and then logic behind 6th place is just pure false optimism and hope, which will be broken after we lose our next 5 games. But you never know. So
all without scoring a goal.
Exactly. But what's your logic now?
Well, Southampton, a lot of what you say, the quality's there. I think the gap to Ipswich and Leeds at the moment is just too big for Russ Martin to kind of pull back. And I don't really rate Russell Martin that much either. I think I've made that quite clear. I just don't buy the hype into Russ Martin. I think he's a decent manager. I don't think he's top championship. Middlesbrough, as I said earlier in the show, because we're playing this weekend, they're a very, very good side. They look like they're top 6 material, and they've finally started to click in beating some impressive sides now as well. Leicester last weekend. Put West Brom in there ahead of Bristol City. I think it'll be close between them and like Hull. I could see Coventry doing a bit of a resurgence, but maybe not to the levels they want to do in terms of getting back in the top 6. But a little bit of resurgence.
Sunderland.
I could see. Yeah, I was going to mention Sunderland. I was going to see Sunderland could definitely get in there. I think West Brom's kind of defensive knowledge and the ability to just shut out teams is going to be so crucial in so many games, because they've still got to play Hull, they've still got to play Sunderland, teams in and around them. And if they can just go away from home and just keep shutouts, it's going to be so crucial. So crucial. And if they can, they've got the attacking quality there as well. Remember, these were in the Premier League a few seasons ago, so they've got the quality in there to go ahead and nick games 1 or 2-0. John Swift, Jed Wallace, Greta Diangana, Daryl DK when he's back, Josh Maggio. They've got quality in there, and they've got a very, very good coach in Carlos Corberán, who's done this before with Huddersfield, where they were kind of under the cosh before the season, not much money to spend, excellent recruitment, building on what was already there, making them very defensively solid. It's got them moving in the right direction. So I've gone with West Brom for that reason. I think they'll just pip Haaland, Sunderland, and Coventry and whoever's there come the end of the season. Yeah, I think that's why I've gone with West Brom. So that's my top 6 updated. So in full: Leicester, Ipswich, top 2, Leeds, Southampton, Middlesbrough, and West Brom. Matiss, yours was
Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, Southampton, Middlesbrough, like you, and then yeah,
just top 5, top 5, top 5, and everything else.
No, where did you put Ipswich initially?
13th, which I thought was quite high.
I put them a little bit lower. I put them 18th, which is quite low. I thought
13th was like reasonable. I think pushing top half was going to be a very good season.
I got a couple just to touch on another. Like I put Cardiff. Well, we're going to get to the relegation now, but I put Cardiff very low down. West Brom I put 19th. Otherwise I got relatively close.
My most shocking prediction so far is probably Norwich. I put them 6th, but
yeah, I put Norwich. I put them 9th.
But if Norwich come like 10th, I'll be like, that's fine, that's chill, that's all right. Apart from that, everything else is pretty stable, to be honest. Everything else is all right. Cardiff's an outrageous prediction as well.
Yeah,
I've put them 21st, and they have now flown above us in the league. Let's talk about the relegation zone then. I think we can all agree it's going to be Sheffield Wednesday bottom. There's no need to talk about them. They're just gone.
Leicester?
In my opinion.
Leicester relegation now?
Top 2. No. No. They'll have to lose every game like 5-0 to go down this rate. Because
they literally have to lose every game, probably.
Because the standard at the bottom is abysmal. It's abysmal. 23rd. I've gone. Actually, you go first.
I go first. You're making a W sound there. So but wait, we've lost a Wigan already, so I don't know what team there is there. But yeah. So yeah, obviously Sheffield. Huh?
You can go first. That's what, is it?
Yeah,
did I cut out there?
No. I'll do my bottom 3. So yeah, 24th Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, establish that. Just poor. I mean, it's obviously not easy to come up into a new league. I mean, Ipswich have done the complete opposite. But yeah, they just don't have any quality and only won 1 game away from home. They are really, really poor. I think they picked up 1 point away from home.
They should have got
against Leeds as well.
They should have got something against Leeds.
They should definitely have got something against us, because that red card as well. That was massive. But yeah, they're on 6 points. They're already 9 points off safety, which is massive in this, and they've only got 6 points in 16. So I think that is pretty definite. So yeah. Then for 23rd, I've put Rotherham.
Who?
They are
I'm sorry,
22nd. Rotherham.
Rotherham. I'm sure the Yorkshire people are loving you right now. Rotherham. I'm going to clip that out. Rotherham. Bloody hell.
Rotherham.
Rotherham. There we go. Yeah.
Rotherham. Yeah, I just think they're also just pretty poor. They last year they came 19th, 6 points off relegation. They've stayed in that was their first year, right? Last year, or was it 2 years? Yeah, that was their first. I just don't see them staying up, to be honest, because realistically, for me, if we look at the bottom four right now, Huddersfield, Rotherham, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, for me, it's between those four. Just because Coventry, realistically, they're not getting relegated. They have enough quality to get on a good run of form. Plymouth as well, I don't think have been bad, and they've picked up some results. And then obviously Birmingham, Swansea, Norwich are upwards. That I just don't think they're in it. So I think there's quite just those four. It's just I don't think there's a really poor quality. So yeah, I put Rotherham 23rd, and then 22nd, I've put Huddersfield. So I've got QPR to just about stay up. So yeah, I feel like I've just done it. I don't know. They've been on a horrendous run of form. I just feel like, how long has their new manager been there? I think just a couple more weeks than a week more than Manning. Then
no, bit more than a week more than Manning.
Two, 3 weeks maybe.
It's a month and a half.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think.
Fair enough, but I feel like they can turn it around, and I think they might have enough just to. Because realistically, if you win a couple games on the bounce, get on like 3-4 unbeaten.
Sorry, are you talking about Huddersfield? Are you talking about QPR?
QPR.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Huddersfield. Yeah,
no, it was
days.
More days. It was like a week or something. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like give him also a bit more time. And I reckon, just a little bit of good form, and I reckon they can find themselves just about surviving, just like last year. But yeah, Huddersfield have got 3 wins, to be fair, but again, it's they did beat West Brom, to be fair, in September, but there's always going to be some surprise results. I just don't think they have quality, and just they're pretty. When we played QPR, it was just poor from us. To be fair, they did dominate in that first half a decent amount, but then again, I just feel like teams can shut these 4 teams down a lot better than we can, and win games and get the 3 points with a lot more ease. Because I feel like when we play teams lower in the table, we make it very hard for ourselves. Rotherham, 2 late Tommy Conway goals. QPR couldn't get the 3 points, and then Sheffield Wednesday, red card. So I've got Huddersfield, Rotherham, and then Sheffield Wednesday rock bottom.
For Sheffield Wednesday bottom, because they're just gone for me. 23rd, I agree with the Rotherham prediction. What do you say? Rotherham prediction. I agree with that. That's not being let go, mate.
Yeah.
You put Huddersfield there in 22nd, which I'm not surprised about, because I do think they have been really poor under Darren Moore. I'm really surprised, because I think he's a good manager. And I don't think they have enough quality. The gap between them and the bottom 3 at the moment is I think 6 points, maybe 4 points. 4 points. But I think Huddersfield have the ability to just grind out a few results against maybe some tougher opposition. Maybe the odd draw here and there against the Sunderlands and the Prestons and the Southamptons, maybe. I think they have that ability in them. I think Darren Moore and Neil Warnock especially have that ground into them. So I think they'll be fine. So I'm going to put QPR. I think it'll be really tight though between them and Huddersfield, because I do like Martí Cifuentes as their new manager. So I'll put QPR in 22nd, and I just think think they sacked Gareth Ainsworth a little too late for me. I think if Fuentes, if he'd been given the summer, I think that'd be a really good appointment. Get QPR moving in the right direction. So bottom three, Sheffield Wednesday, bottom Rotherham 23rd, QPR 22nd. I did have the same bottom three, but I think I had QPR and Rotherham the other way around.
And then our difference was just Huddersfield and QPR. But I went with QPR just to overtake Rotherham and Huddersfield. But it's bound to be three of those four. To be honest. What did you put as your initial predictions at the start of the season? Bottom three.
Well, it was the same three. I had Wednesday bottom, and I had Rotherham in 23rd, and I had QPR in 22nd. So it's gone back. It's reverted back to the start of the season when I changed it to QPR and Rotherham. So I've reverted back to the start of the season, which is weird. Championship. There we go.
I went for an outrageous shot. I've got Rotherham right now in 22nd, which they are, and Wednesday 24th, which they are. But I put Huddersfield in 17th, which is a bit high. But I put them in 17th. But I put Cardiff in 23rd, which is now an outrageous. At the time, I thought, not a lot of people put them around like the 20th, 21st, surviving. I just thought from last season they were very, very poor. And they survived in the end with 5 points, but they were just not good at all. They've turned around. They proved me wrong. They're definitely not going to get relegated. But that was a bit of an outrageous shout from me.
Well, it looked like they're taking a risk with their old Bullet, but it's turned out all right. They let go of Lamucci, and we all went, "Oh, you're getting rid of stability. Finally, you have some stability at Cardiff." Bullet looks like a good manager, so fair enough to Cardiff. So your final three was Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, and Huddersfield in that order from bottom. I think that's a reasonable prediction in my opinion. I think that's fairly similar to a lot of people right now, and I think that's a fairly similar shout to what people had at the start of the season as well. So. Yeah, good.